Zoom, zoom. God bless. I don't know where. Happy Friday. It's famous Friday. How are you doing? I don't know where the rest of my squad is at. They might be checking in late. But you know I'm on time. So that's that. All right. Those famous Friday today. And yeah, it's all that good stuff. I have on my Disgrace 50 t-shirt today because this alderman is an alderman that I cannot absolutely stand. I cannot, because there's no way in the world he should still be in office. That's the first thing. Hello, how you doing? Beautiful people. Yes, Pope Francis died on Monday. Yes, Pope Francis died on Monday. I am Catholic, born and raised. My mother is too. My mother was saddened, but she said that if you saw some pictures, like I guess before he passed away, he was kind of bloated. Didn't look too good. But I did see a post earlier today saying that he never took his $325,000 salary, and I really do not believe that. And I'm tired of these people saying that he did not take it, that he wanted to live in poverty. I don't care if you're Jesus and you have a Jesus-like concept. There's no way in the world that you want to live in poverty. Okay, you want to be able to give as much. If you just straight just leaving $350,000 on the table, that you could literally bless a family. You've been the Pope. You were the Pope for a long time. You could have blessed a family. You could have blessed 3 families with $100,000 a year each. You could have took care of 3 families for at least $100,000. So yeah, I don't really believe that. However, God rest his soul. And I don't even know how that works, like how they get a new pope, but yeah, that's that. So yes, I did know about that. All right, now bet, because I was going to try to wait out. Daddy's all right. Talked earlier today. Sometimes she gets it mixed up, so maybe she thinks it's at 7 o'clock, but it's at 6 o'clock. So I don't know. Let me see, because she will say you didn't tell me, and I did tell her. But I'm still waiting for the people to come back in here and eat too. So yeah. I have to use my other phone. Should have did this before. Where you at? Yeah, you know it's Famous Friday right now. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. So yes. Anyway, so we're doing Jason Ervin today, and again, Jason Ervin is one of the worst aldermen in there, and And yeah, I'm probably just about to just like really get into it. Because that's how that works. All right, so Jason Ervin, he was born May 7th, 1974. So his birthday is coming up. A Taurus, a piece of crap Taurus. Tauruses are pretty cool, pretty good people. But then you have people like Jason Ervin. He's an American politician who serves on the Chicago City Council. He became an alderman for Chicago's 28th Ward, located on the west side of Chicago in 2010. He has been in office too long. He assumed office January 13th, 2011. Of course, he is a terrible Democrat. He is married to Melissa Conyears-Ervin, who is the Chicago treasurer, who also I will be speaking about tonight as well. We're going to do both of them together since they are married and are destroying Chicago every day you see them. He has his bachelor's in arts from SIU, Carbondale, and he has his master's of public administration from Governor State University. And prior to his appointment to Chicago City Council, he was the village manager of Maywood, Illinois. He also is a certified public accountant and a graduate of Morgan Park Academy. He's a certified public accountant, and he is the chairman of budget. I want y'all to understand that he is a certified public accountant, and he is also over the budget. Like chairman. He's chairman of the budget committee. Jason Ervin. In 2010, Ervin was appointed by no other than Richard M. Daley, another piece of doo-doo, to replace the retiring Ed Smith of the 28th Ward. I gotta look up Ed Smith to see how he was as a person. I don't know. He was reelected. Irvin was reelected in 2011, 2015, 2019, and 2023. He is the chair of the Committee on Budget and Government Operations. The public accountant is the chairman of the Committee on Budget and Government Operations. He also serves on the following committees: Aviation Committees and Rules, Contract Oversight, Equity, Finance, Pedestrian, and Traffic Safety and Transportation. In the runoff of the 2019 mayoral election, Irvin endorsed Tony Preckwinkle over Lori Lightfoot because you got to keep the machine going, who was elected. Early in Lightfoot's mayoral campaign, Irvin came into conflict with her, but became one of her strongest city council allies and endorsed her for her unsuccessful bid for re-election in 2023. All right. Good old Jason Ervin. All righty, right. He is in the Do Nothing Black Caucus. As you know, they do absolutely nothing. He is a member of Committee on Finance, a member on Pedestrian and Traffic Safety, Committee on Transportation and Public Way, Committee on Police and Fire, Committee on Aviation, Committee on Committees and Rules, and Committee on Contracting Oversight and Equity. All of the good committees that you would think that he would actually care about, but he doesn't. All right. Also, when I was looking up, I had to look up something from him. And when I looked up, I realized that he does not have a website. This man has no website either. So he's just out here winging it and being stupid his whole entire life. All right, now let's get into the good stuff when it comes to this man. He barely made it in this time, so I know for sure he's not going to make it in next time. Okay. Alderman Jason Ervin wins 4th term in 28th Ward office despite last minute challenger. And also, I feel like they did a lot of cheating to hurry up and get him back in office because you got to keep the machine going. You understand? So I heard they did a lot of. I heard like it was about 4 or 5 people that was running against him. So they had to figure it out, and so they had to figure out how to keep him in there. But he says, "I'm humbled the voters of the 28th Ward have placed their trust in me for another term in such an overwhelming fashion." First of all, the 28th Ward cannot really stand Jason Ervin. So I really do feel like these people are a little bit delusional in their head, but that's how these people are. He was reelected 28th Ward, with all precincts reporting that he held 76% of the vote to challenger Sean Walker's 24%, sealing Irvin's 4th full term of office. I'm humbled the voters of the 28th Ward have placed their trust in me for another term. I will work hard on their behalf every day to make our community safer and stronger, while I continue to vote against everything y'all need in the 28th Ward, like I've been doing for the past 4 terms. The 28th Ward represents parts of Austin, East Garfield Park, West Garfield Park, Pilsen, Little Village, Little Italy, and the West Loop. Irvin ran unopposed for majority of the election season because Walker and another challenger were knocked off the ballot for not having enough valid signatures. And then a 4th candidate withdrew, so they probably paid that person to get up off of there. But Walker was reinstated to the race last week after election. So the week before he got in. So he really didn't get in when he was supposed to get in. Mommy? All right. Walker was reinstated to the race after election officials determined he collected 1 extra petition signature above the requirement to appear on the ballot. So somebody that clearly decided, thank you for being here with me. Appreciate you for coming in. Thank you. Say hello to everybody. How was your day?
Hello. I'm sorry, you all. I had to find my phone. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm like, where's my phone? Yes, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I'm just getting into him barely making it into this term and the reasons why.
Okay.
Them trying to cheat. But So Irvin fought the decision and appealed to the Illinois Appellate Court, which sided with Walker. That's how much no one cares for you, Irvin. That you made it all the way to the appellate court and they still sided with Walker. Okay, now Mayor Richard Daley appointed Irvin to the seat in 2011, and he easily won the 2000 election to serve his full term. Of course. Then he ran unopposed 2015 when 7 challengers were knocked off the ballot. And then he won again in 2019. Okay, 7 challengers were knocked off the ballot in 2015. 7. So 7 of them just did not get their signatures. 7 of them didn't. I got to talk to every.
Right.
I got to talk to 7 of them.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
before Irvin was alderman, he served on the local school councils as Tilton Elementary School and Westing Career Academy. Irvin is the chair. Well, he was the chair. He's not no more. But he was the chair of the city council's Black Caucus, and he serves also on 8 other committees. And then his wife was reelected for city treasurer after running unopposed, even though the inspector generals came in and confiscated her computers and saw that she was misdirectly using funds and doing all types of stuff. But hey, this Chicago they do their own thing here. All right. Throughout his time as an alderperson, he said that he was the most proud to bring sustainable developments, increase access to affordable housing, and improve infrastructure. And he says that his top priorities for this term that he's currently in is to improve education, keep families safe, even though he voted against ShotSpotter. And he has one of the worst wards on the west side. Okay. Also, he is for immigration, all of the immigration, the sanctuary city, anything that Bozo, the mayor, says that he's down for with immigration, you will always see Butterball behind him, and he will be shaking his head. Okay, so, but that's his top priorities: is keeping families safe and furthering economic development, according to his website that I cannot find. Okay. Irvin said he looks forward to working with the newly elected police council to improve public safety through more collaboration with the community. But he agreed in this last budget that they just passed that they need to reduce the the police budget. So that's that man. All right. So in 2012, he owned a drug house. For Alderman Jason Ervin, he represents a large swath of the Chicago's troubled West Side. Drug activity in the areas hit close to home. And that's because he recently owned what sources and police portray as a drug house nearby Maywood. During the decade or so that he owned the 3 flats at 1600 West Madison in the near western suburb, police were called there 150 times, often for drug-related incidents, but also for pow-pow, gunshots, assaults, trespassing, and thefts, among other things. Okay, and now not everybody got arrested when the police was called.
Okay, but, and this is right where this is where he owned. This is where.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, 2012.
All right.
Okay, this was so he got in 2011. So this was just he been had this. This been his drug house. When he was working for Maywood, when he was working for the schools, this was his spot.
Okay.
He says while Irvin takes issues with the building being called a drug house, he acknowledged that there are problems from shady tenants that he was forced to evict and vandalism and drug activity. So he's basically saying like he wouldn't make the same investment. It was an investment. He didn't know that they was going to be wilding out doing drugs and it was going to be a drug house. So yeah, and he said that he had planned to rent it out, not live there when he was in his 20s to start to dabble in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his ex-wife, they purchased it in 2001 for $175,000 from Henderson Yarborough, who later was elected mayor of Maywood and hired Irvin as a village manager. So they probably was in business together.
Right. Because has all this connection, right?
Yeah. So the job that he was hired for made him responsible for municipal departments, including police and code enforcement, for that same drug house.
Mm.
Because he was the one. He dealt with any of the code enforcement for that house. That's me. I got that. Let me see what that is. 355 police calls today. I know, but I got it. So yes. Then he left in 2011 and headed over to the city of Chicago.
But he still had that building though, right?
Yeah, but we weren't.
Okay.
Nobody not supposed to know.
Okay.
That is Maywood.
Okay.
Maywood. He got the connections. The Latin, he told the person, he told the mayor over there, and he told whoever the person that he put in there for the police and code enforcement.
Oh, yeah.
When it come to that spot, let me take care of it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So.
Okay.
He's saying that the reason why he had to sell it is because the economics changed and the soaring of property taxes had ended up losing $1,000 a year on a cash basis, meaning that the drug dealers, because he couldn't sell as much as he thought he could be, so it wasn't making what it was supposed to be. Because y'all clearly don't care about property taxes. Because if he cared about property taxes, he wouldn't be acting the way that he's acting over here in the city of Chicago. So he stopped paying mortgage in early 2009, and Wells Fargo Bank filed foreclosure action in Cook County Circuit Court against the Ervins, claiming they owed more than $200,000. By that time, him and his ex-wife had separated, and yeah. Okay. So he said he hasn't considered himself. He said he never considered himself the owner of the building for several years. He said that Wells Fargo informally took control of the building in 2009 and formally took control in 2009. Nigga, you foreclosed. What is this informally?
Right.
Informally, nigga, you was part of the foreclosure crisis.
Right.
That was happening around that time. Okay. Only thing is you were okay with it being foreclosed because you done paid. You probably had about a good 1.5, 1.8 million stashed away from your ex-wife in cash.
Right.
You probably split it with her so she can go her way and you go your way. And then because you was like, I don't matter because I'm sleeping with the treasurer right now. I'm sleeping with the treasurer. I'm about to get my baby. Right. I'm about to get my new wife the whole person City Hall. You know what I'm saying? So
all this informally, right. That's how you know. Yeah.
They said of the 150 or so police service calls from 2001 through 2011, 30 were drug calls. while the others were criminal trespass, fight in progress, domestic battery, shots fired, mental subject, loitering, open alcohol, and criminal sexual abuse, with the alleged victim a girl living in one of the apartment units. Oh my God, Alderman. He had no choice. He had to get rid of that.
Right. It could be right.
He had to get rid of it. It was on a target list. It was on everything. They told him, they said, look, let it go in the foreclosure. Let it go in the foreclosure cycle that's happening right now. You already got your little money off of it. Y'all already got another little house. Just wait the little 8 years. You'll be fine. Take the little foreclosure off. And that's that. These are the people who are running wards.
Right.
All right. So now I remember I had seen that, and somebody who was like, I guess, close with him didn't want to really believe that he's not he's not like this terrible person. But I remember he was like, no, that can't. No, see, you wasn't there for it. No. Be there for what? The corruption in Chicago? It's not no like it's clear as day. Why would regardless of, he knew them calls was coming in. He knew there was crackheads living there. He didn't care though, because he was getting that Section 8.
Mm-hmm.
In that Section 8. And finally, Section 8 people called over to him and said, hey, we can't keep paying this Section 8.
Yeah.
We can't keep paying the Section 8.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so then we have...
Stop.
2000... No. I got to get to this one first, because I saw... So then in 2014, my man been there for a long time. He keeps running unopposed. He's so good that there's 7 people that ran against him got tossed off of it.
No, can't be. I don't believe that.
That's how good he is.
Right. Can't be.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. So then my man, in February 2014, he's denying, because he denies everything. This is a denier. He doesn't take accountability for nothing. Anyway, a YouTube video surfaced of a bachelor party involving female strippers. The 2012 video was shot in what appears to be a film screening room. Irvin says the party was not held in his first floor Aldermanic office or political office, but on another floor of the building. He also points out that no city or campaign funds were spent for what he describes as a private event for his family and friends. Irvin is sitting on a chair on the stage during the video, which ends with a female voice can be heard telling the camera operator, "Shut it down." I am deeply disappointed that an individual who I'm regarded as a friend would attempt to extort me, my family, and the residents of the ward for personal gain. That's exactly how my man sounds too. Irvin said in a statement. Attempts to reach Irvin at that time was unsuccessful, but his spokesman, Ty, said he would not be making himself available for comment. Irvin has been on the city council since 2011, so that's 2014. Now, at the end of the day, I don't care about nobody having no bachelor party. Like, do you? But if you had the bachelor party in the same building as your office, like, you couldn't find, like, where was Junior's bachelor party at? Junior's bachelor party was at the hotel. You couldn't go to a like y'all couldn't. What's close? What you got? You got if you don't want to be in the city, cool. What's the next cities that you can go to? The next states. Was it St. Louis?
Yeah.
You go to Wisconsin. You
Yeah.
can go to Michigan,
Indiana. Yeah.
Indiana. Like y'all, you had to have it in the same building as your off. Like this is why I had to wear this shirt today, and I don't never wear this shirt because this is how idiotic this man is. Now that was just true. I just when I was doing my research, I just saw that. Well, my thing is though, like, it's nobody's business, which is not. And whoever did post the video, that was just stupid. However, El Dudu Dodo El Retarto Alderman, who has a lot of shit to lose. Like you just came from having to explain to yourself why you had to file foreclosure, why you had a drug house. 2-3 years later, you having a bachelor party in the same building as your office is for the government. Like
a bunch of bad decisions.
Yeah, like you are. Yeah, like you. It's given. I'm trying to tell you. I think majority of the people on city council is autistic. Because there's no way in the world that you could be this slow. Like, ain't no way in the world. Like, I don't care how much education y'all think y'all have, what college education, like y'all slow. Y'all are like literally legit slow. Now, his population is, in his ward, is 52,614. His demographics is 71% is black, 10% is Latino, 9% is white, and 5% is Asian. But his neighborhoods include, you already said it, West Garfield, East Garfield, Near West Side, Fifth City, Tri-Taylor, Greektown, Little Village, Pilsen. They keep forgetting them over there and try to say that. Now for West Garfield, which is majority of black people, they make the median household is $30,000. Okay, East Garfield is $23,000. For the Near West Side, it's $93,000. So that's probably by the West Loop, Greektown, all that. And then for the city of Chicago, the average maybe $62,000. What he deals with a lot is the lack of grocery stores, lack of investment, drugs and illegal substance abuse, and crime. Well, I think he doesn't care because he was a drug lord. You understand? So that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, look at his building. Yeah, he was a slumlord. Yeah.
He was a slumlord. He a tourist, so he cheap. So that's why he didn't go and think about going to go get him a nice hotel room or a nice spot to do the bachelor thing. So he decided that, you know what, I'm just going to have it downstairs in another room in the same building as where my altar thing is, because we can just save some money like that. Because I'm an idiot.
Cheap, very cheap, very cheap.
Taurus is so cheap, man.
Yeah, very cheap.
They will, but they got the money though. They'll have, their savings will be on steroids, and they will be out here eating oodles and noodles for a year straight. Just like that. Just like he didn't have to that foreclosure for that house. He didn't have to do that foreclosure for the house. He figured out how to finagle and all that. He got everything he needed to get, so he shouldn't care.
Yep, he didn't care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So why should he? Now, we also have 2016 when Mukesh Mike Sharma is given Arab wanted to open up an upscale beer and wine shop in Chicago's University Village neighborhood. He was told the store name, Mike's Wine and Spirits, must change to Michael's Wine and Spirits. This name was classier, said Kathy Catrabone, executive director of the University Village Association. 28th Ward Alderman Jason Ervin presented Mike with this condition, among others such as price controls and hour restrictions designed to protect a liquor store owned by a village board member. Before giving his blessing to the zoning board, Mike was allowed to open up shop in 2014 after a year-long wait. If this grimy political process is reminiscent of a mobster movie, that's because its practice has persisted from the heyday of corrupt Chicago politics at the turn of the 20th century through Al Capone's bootlegger era and beyond. The city's Aldermanic history even includes nicknames fit for mafioso Edward Fast Eddie Badoliak, John Bathhouse Cullen, Mike Hinky Dink Kenna, and John DePaul Powers. The same custom used to keep booze and patronage flowing during Prohibition, for instance, still persists today, leaving Chicagoans to reckon with the political process that breeds corruption and in a business climate. That custom is referred to as an automatic privilege, and it grants Chicago aldermen a level of autocratic control not seen in any other American city. That's why they don't have no city charter. Automatic privilege is far from a common term, but think of it as a division of powers. Chicago is divided into 50 political wards, each with an elected alderman who sits on city council, and the privilege comes from a simple understanding among the 50 officials. Each is technically granted power to block or initiate any policies concerning their ward. This convention is rarely violated. An alderman's privileged power is most evident in near total control of their ward's zoning process. One may find countless Mukesh Sharmas in the annals of a Chicago history for this reason. In Chicago, a great deal of discretion has been granted to political actors infamous for corruption over the last century. In the last 40 years alone, 33 of some 200 Chicago aldermen have been convicted of federal crimes such as bribery, extortion, embezzlement, conspiracy, mail fraud, income tax evasion, according to 2000, at this time, 15's Good Government. It's been more since, but this was 2015. Corrupt Illinois. All right? So that's the type of stuff that you're dealing with. And because of those type of things, you got people like slow-faced Jason Ervin too, because he's also a slow one. That when it comes to zoning, he can help you. He can help everybody with zoning except West Garfield, East Garfield, anything that's predominantly black. He really doesn't know what to do, and basically, like I was told by some West Siders, that between him and Mamitz and a couple of Walter Burnett, a couple of other West Side aldermen, that the West Side is no longer the West Side. The West Side is Little Venezuela. They say the West Side is gone. They say there's no more West Side.
Right. Yeah.
They say there's no more West Side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when he got reelected, let's see. Let's talk about when he first got elected, he was not for not first elected. This election, I've learned that they go with the flow. So they go with whatever the flow is. And one of his things was when he was in 2018, they say that that she was assaulted by the alderman's employee while petitioning for his challenger. That's how crazy they are. Like for these, like this is like life or death. This was 2018. Says two volunteers collected signatures outside a West Side polling place Friday, accused a man associated with 28th Ward Alderman Jason Ervin's organization of assaulting them on election day and stealing signed nominating petitions for one of the alderman's challengers. Okay, at a City Hall news conference back in 2018, Lukisa Hawkins says she was collecting signatures for 28th Ward Aldermanic candidate Justina L. Winfrey outside of Spencer Technology when a man grabbed a half-filled petition sheet from her and several completed sheets and pamphlets from another volunteer. I put my clipboard and things I was holding to my chest, and he began to snatch them out of my hand. So we were wrestling, and I was like, "You're not going to take my stuff." And he said, "Give me this shit." And he snatched it down, hurting my thumb, and took it.
That's voters. That's voters fraud. That's voters fraud right there, and voters interference. That's all of that right there, right?
That's just like when they sent me that video of Michelle Harris that night stealing them. She wasn't even an alderman at that time, but she was working for the previous alderman and was picking up that man's signs, taking it. Like these people is crazy.
These people crazy. It's like, come on, y'all.
So she said this was a direct violation of my rights. Yes, ma'am. We know. they
Right.
don't care. They don't care about rights.
Right.
And adding to that, she wants to see that man who assaulted her charged with a crime, as well as anyone who else directed to interfere with her efforts to get Winfrey on the ballot. I'm going to tell y'all right now, y'all can play with me if you want to. Come this way. Come this way and try to play with anybody that I am dealing with or working with when it comes to coming for y'all seats. Try to take my stuff. Try to challenge signatures, try to do whatever y'all want to do. Y'all are done. Just letting y'all know that right now. All right. Now, everyone, they say this is not how politics in Chicago should work. Well, baby, this is how Chicago politics work here. Again, you got turned into something that you never wanted to turn into in order to fight these demons, because these are demons, and it's a system that is set up that, well, I believe the system is no longer there anymore, but there's a system that's set up, and this is how this works. All right. His term ends is in 2027, so please, somebody needs to go ahead and run against him. And that's it. Sean Walker, I don't believe you only got 1,423. You probably did because you was in there fighting the fact that you had taken all day. I mean, he took it all the way to appellate court. You really couldn't really get out there the way that you wanted to get out there. So Sean Walker, please, if you would like to run against him again, please let me know. But now there's no Democrat. I don't do no Democrats. Jasmine Jackson. Never mind. Other one. So the people who ran against him was Jason Ervin, Jasmine Jackson, McGill Buesta, and Beverly Miles. Withdrawn, disqualified. It was Teresa and Justina. Yeah, all of that. All right. Now, let me see something real quick, because there was something I was supposed to look at earlier today. I just wanted to make sure if he was part of this, because I was told this, but I had some interviews. I want to make sure was he part of, because I got to make sure, because when I say I really can't stand this man, so I'm just trying to make sure. All right, let's see. Yes, he was. All right. So also, piece of crap, Jason Ervin was also part of the part of the what they call them. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I think it was 7. But part of the group of aldermen who knew about this situation when it came to the Laquan McDonald. They say that they were paid. I don't know if they were paid or not. But I do know that he was one of the part of the 6, which it makes sense because he does anything. He's literally a lapdog for whoever is the mayor at that time. Like it's like when they get in, when a new mayor gets in office, it's like these certain amount, these aldermen right here, and his majority got to be black, that will do whatever you say because they don't want to lose this job. Okay, so if it's voting against whatever the ward doesn't want, we're gonna vote with whatever you say the ward needs. Even though they're coming to us with complaints and everything like that, we're gonna do whatever you say. We don't care. We care. We took this oath to the government. We took this oath to corruption. We do not care about these people at all, and he's one of those people. And I see that with his the way that he moves. The way that he moves is ridiculous. It's sick, actually. Like, even with the situation with this, right? He votes down on lowering the speed limit. That was in February 19th, 2015. And he says, Mayor Brant Johnson handpicked him to actually be the committee chair too. He was vice chair for the budget, but then now he's the head chair. But he says that he understood the logic that if you go slow, that it would be fewer traffic fatalities and serious injuries. But when Johnson's 2025 budget was balanced in part by installing more speed cameras, he's concerned about an avalanche of speeding tickets that struggling Chicagoans cannot afford to pay. The fact that you voted for a budget knowing that more speed cameras were going to be in the black communities, especially the south side and the west side, knowing that you are in one of the worst parts of Chicago, and you still voted on that budget, but you wanted to, but you say, well, hey, you know what I'm saying? We already got the speed cameras, and even though, you know, we're already dealing with a lot of stuff anyway, but we can't. But when it comes to the speed limit, now we gotta chill on the speed limit. But you voted for more speed cameras in our communities, knowing that we already got these speed cameras in our communities that don't make any sense, need to be challenged. You know, so you don't make any sense. Like, your voting doesn't make any sense. Even with you were one of the 8 aldermen that rejected the Chicago sanctuary city referendum. You know, like, how do you vote to reject if the city can have a say on a sanctuary city referendum when the west side is in it? I mean, they say the west side gone. I mean, everybody you talk to, they say on the weekends all you see is U-Haul and box trucks for all of the Hispanics that are moving over there because of people like you that voted for it. And you don't even make any sense when you talk. Like, it does. Like, even when you try to explain why it should be, you might as well just say, well, whatever the mayor say, you know, I gotta say too now, because you gotta understand what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a lot. You know, I'm dealing with my wife stealing in the Chicago Treasury. You know, she's Chicago Treasury, and I'm dealing with, you know, I've been in here since 2011. I done had drug houses. I didn't want to go to Arnie's, so I decided to bring Arnie's to me, and the place where I have my the place where I do all my business, you know, with the city. You know, you're just an idiot. Then you considering reducing the police budget after everybody voted against the $300 million property tax increase, and I was there when the vote for the $300 million property increase, right? However, I watched. You were the last one, Jason Ervin, and you were looking around to see if you got the okay from Mayor Brandon Johnson to say no. You and Hall, y'all both looked around. Now, everybody else voted no because they already knew what it is. But you and Hall was willing to take the chance to vote yes if Brandon Johnson wanted y'all to vote yes. Like, that's how, like, slow you are, and you happen to be an accountant. Like, there's no, like, how they say man, I mean, they say David Moore is an accountant too. I'm trying to figure out, where did y'all go to school? But it's crazy. And my thing is, he talks on corruption a lot, right? Like Jason Ervin will talk about corruption a lot. You all right over there?
Yeah, my phone. I don't know why it's charged.
Yeah, I can't hear you. It's going, it's like a little cracking a little bit. Like in 2012, this state rep was arrested. What was his name? Alderman. I don't know. Let me see what his name was. I don't know. They don't say his name. But anyway, a state rep. He basically told him he was arrested last month on a federal bribery charge because they always get arrested. You know, that's just what Chicago do. He took $7,000 of cash bribe in exchange for a letter of support for a daycare center that he thought was seeking a state grant. Jason Ervin told him that he has missed more than 150 votes in the General Assembly since his arrest, and that he's doing a disservice to the people he represents. While we understand that Rep. Smith has a right to due process and a right to defend himself, he does not have a right to stay home, not represent the district, and also collect the paycheck. You do not represent your district. You don't stay at home, but you collect a paycheck. You do not represent your district at all. I don't care how many times you go into the community with your wife who thinks that she is a celebrity, because they all think they're celebrities. That's what I'm learning to see that. And just because you walk around with her security detail does not mean that you are a great politician, because you are not at all. Okay, now, how much did he receive from CTU? He only received $10,000, and that's crazy because I was just told a few hours ago that CTU spent $50 million on the last election, paying out people. That's how all these socialists got in office. They paid out $50 million, like to get Jesse Fuentes, all these weirdos in office and stuff. They paid $50 million to start pushing all these people. But you and Michelle Harris get little amounts like $2,500, $10,000, $5,000, and then when you look at people like, I don't know, David Moore got $30,000. You look at Rosanna Rodriguez got $54,000. Carlos Ramirez Rosa, $55,000. Jeanette Taylor, god damn, $106,000. So yeah, but they the ones who got all these socialist people in there. So if they spent $50 million, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to get these socialist rejects in office. But yeah, October 19th. The 20th ward, and this is why he was voting the way that he was voting too, because and I gotta really follow his mind to see if it even happened, because we have such incompetent people in office. Like Brandon Johnson lies, his PR people lie, his administration lie, the people who are on city council, his allies lie. So like every day when they get on, they just look stupid because we know that y'all are lying. Anyway, he was supposed to receive $385 million in infrastructure boosts in the 28th ward. Mayor Brandon Johnson took to the streets of Chicago's 28th ward to let people know, basically, a lie, that his administration's commitments to revitalize the community with substantial new investments. It's always a new investment.
Right.
Always. He's teaming up with Alderman Jason Ervin and various community leaders. I would love to know who the community leaders are, but that's for another day. Recurring the Day in the Ward event. It's just like, I guess the Day in the Ward event is just like that Black Wall Street Day that they had last was that Saturday?
Yeah.
At Will Hall's thing. So yeah, so this was the Day in the Ward event over here, and it's supposed to highlight the infrastructure, the youth initiatives, and the innovative approach to enhancing community safety. Now, since this has happened, October 19th, 2024, also, if it had to wait until the budget was passed, it's already passed, we have seen an influx of teenagers going downtown for teen takeovers. So I'm trying to figure out where is the youth initiatives and innovative approach to enhancing community safety with the $385 million and the infrastructure that you keep talking about. They always talk about infrastructure. They always talk about all of this stuff, but I don't see what's happening. Do you see it?
No, I don't see it. I don't see it.
All right. According to the official announcement, local businesses and residents' lives stand at the heart of this push. With Mayor Johnson starting the day, he stopped at the Sweet Maple Cafe to discuss their needs and successes. So maybe we should reach out to Sweet Maple Cafe to see if they got anything that they needed. Then they also addressed the local opioid epidemic and the mental health concerns through this service model at the Legler Library. The 28th Ward is a prime example of how targeted investments in infrastructure, youth programming, and community safety can transform neighborhoods. Have you seen Irvin's ward?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With the streets and sanitation planting 354 trees and cleaning up numerous vacant lots, it's clear that the aim is not to only enhance, but also to breathe new life in community spaces. The streets and sanitation don't even pick up the trash that's over there now. Like, I don't barely see streets and sanitation at all on the south side, on the west side. I've recently started seeing it a little bit more because we've been calling certain things out. Then all of a sudden, when it's an event coming up, all of a sudden, here comes multiple trash cans. Oh, we have trash cans now. Y'all know how to clean the left side of the street now, because sometimes you only clean the right side. So, yes. But now they're ready to plant 354 trees on the west side.
Right.
Okay. Then new construction isn't far behind, because with CTA planning a new elevator at the Pulaski Blue Line station and restoring tracks to improve public transportation links throughout the ward. In matters of housing and economics, the administration is not holding back. A staggering $250 million is feeding into the Metro Edge data center in the Illinois Medical District, creating a beacon of technology and growth, while the Good Food Fund pumps nearly $200,000 into local businesses. $200,000. Do you know how much $200,000 is? Alderman Jason Ervin threw his weight behind the initiative, saying, by prioritizing infrastructure improvements and opportunities for our youth, we are building a brighter, more equitable future for our community. Sir, they say the west side is no longer the west side anymore. So is this for the new people? Are these for the new arrivals?
Yes.
Is this for the new west side?
For the newcomers? Because clearly not for us. Like, for real. Clearly, y'all not talking to us, or it's not us, because we keep telling you all what we want. So it's clearly not for us. So yeah, I guess they're talking to the newcomers, or the dreamers, as they want us to call us, because they're not. they can't be talking to us.
Yes, the dreamers.
Yes.
Also, they have substantial construction, over 600 affordable housing units already in progress. The people's voice forms the bedrock of these developments, manifested through a $250,000 community governor grant awarded through the West Side NAACP. Relied its organization's gratitude, saying the West Side NAACP is honored to partner with the city of Chicago in advancing community safety and empowerment. I want to break this down. First of all, what is $250,000? Okay, that's number one.
Right, and how? Right. And how? How's it helping us? How? Break that down.
I need a forensic audit for basically for the 385 million infrastructure boost. I'm gonna need a breakdown of it. I'm gonna need all the video footage of how it's being used.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need it all, because at this point,
how it's boosting. What is it? I mean, like, tell us. Don't just say what it is, because they love to do that. It sound good. No.
Yeah, because when you look, they're planting 354 trees. A staggering 250 million of the 358 million is going into a Metro Edge data center in the Illinois Medical District, creating a beacon of technology and growth, while the good food pumps nearly 200,000. So you're going to spend 250 million into the Metro Edge data center to create a beacon of technology and growth. What does that even mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know.
Because how does the food fund only pumping in 200,000 to local businesses?
Right.
But 250 million is going into the medical district to create technology and growth. What is the growth?
What is that? What is the growth? Yep.
Yeah. See, this is what I'll be talking about.
Like a breakdown. Like we need
I need a breakdown.
Because see, right. That's too broad. That's what I'm saying. What does that mean? Exactly. Yep. What does that mean? Exactly.
They don't know what it means.
No.
I'm trying to tell you, they don't know. All right. And so then you have look at these comments real quick. So basically, his office doesn't call anyone back.
Okay.
And don't care about any of the residents' concerns. Andrea Frigo is pissed. Okay, she say they do not respond back.
All right.
And they've been doing this for 8 years. Okay.
Yeah.
He never called back residents. Lack of concerns for local homeowners. Yeah, because they don't want you to own nothing. Okay, they don't want you to own anything now. So if you have any issue with your home as a homeowner and you ain't tied with the city, or you ain't paying these people to care about you, even though they're public servants, you ain't gonna care. Okay. They say, I mean, this was 8 years ago, but they say he throw bachelor parties in public buildings. This guy spends more time chasing cameras than he does doing his job. He still does that now. Okay, him and his wife, because they're socialites. He rents his neighborhood out as if it's his own. Okay, so yeah, Yeah, so Spencer's pissed off.
Yeah.
Austin neighborhood continues to flood.
Yeah.
And the rest of the block floods too, and he can't get nobody out there. The flood now the west side flood like crazy. The west side stay flooded, all right, and then the west side when they brought the NASCAR here the first year, so I think that was 2023, it flooded real bad. It was raining, and what they did was they clogged up. Even the south side too was messed up too.
Yeah.
They had clogged, like, you know, they had like made it to where the water on the south side and the west side, basically it wasn't gonna flood downtown. It wasn't gonna flood downtown. Wasn't gonna flood in the loop, but south side and west side. But the west side gets it bad. Like, it's super bad over there. And you would think Emma Mitz, you would think of Jason Ervin, you would think the people who are West Side, Talaferro, all of them would be taking trips to FEMA to try to figure out where that money is for their people. They go downtown and they will, you know, president. Yes, they call the mayor when it comes to city council and stuff. President Johnson, you know, we understand that you keep sending this money, you keep having all this money going to the illegal immigrants, but we flooding, like we flooding a lot on the west side. Like, I mean, you can get the canoes out. We in the basement. I can canoe in my basement. It's just flood. It was. I remember there was about 2 or 3 people that were coming down there speaking about the flooding. Like they would just be there too late because they didn't know how it started, how the process was. But they would be like, yeah, I'm trying to come down here because we still got flooding. And it's been 6 months. FEMA hasn't came out. FEMA hasn't given us a check. FEMA hasn't done this. FEMA and nobody's and when we go to the alderman, they're not saying nothing. I'm like, how? Like, how does the south side and the west side, when we have major issues, like major issues, I'm not talking about a stop sign or tree trimmer, like buildings getting knocked down, flooding,
right?
All of these type crime. How y'all don't know what to do? Y'all don't know how to do anything.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. She says that her ward, this lady said her ward was remapped, and now she's added to this ward, and she said she can't get any help. No replies, no phone calls, no emails. Another person says that as a high school student that has been living in the West Garfield Park area for over 10 years, I have seen no significant changes at all. The food insecurity, poverty, and the violence is ridiculous. If you can't do your job, at least let the community help you out or resign. Okay?
That's right.
This is a high school student.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's right.
Okay? Need cameras on street poles. Had my SUV stolen twice. Can't get my branches cut. Potholes need repaving. Right? Of course, they never call anyone back, never takes care of their issues, and lets the entire ward rot and sends birthday cards. They do send out birthday cards. He said this is the 3rd birthday card he got, but doesn't take care of his issues. So he does hand out birthday cards. He does absolutely nothing. We have written multiple times and contacted the office regarding a neglected alley that is never cleaned. Yeah, that's about it. He got like one. He got 5 stars from Sheila. She say awesome. Pastor Miller is awesome. I don't know who
Mm.
Pastor Miller is, but shout out to him. Okay, and let's get into his wife. So Melissa Conyears-Ervin is an American politician, and she's also the current Chicago City Treasurer. Before that, she was a Democratic member of the Illinois House of Representatives. She represented the 10th District since 2017. The 10th District includes all of parts of West Garfield Park, East Garfield Park, United Center, Ukrainian Village, River West, Goose Island, Wicker Park, Lincoln Park, and Chicago. She was educated at Eastern Illinois University and Roosevelt. She earned her master's of business administration, and she worked in the insurance industry at both Allstate and CS Insurance Strategies. So she probably was crooked her whole entire life when it came to the insurance.
Yeah.
In 2023, she has faced an ethics investigation and allegations surrounding the abuse of power. Former employee alleged that her requiring staff to perform personal tasks, including planning birthday parties, grocery shopping, and forcing BMO Harris Bank to provide a mortgage for her husband, Chicago Alderman Jason Ervin. And they probably had to do that because they probably was questioning him about that foreclosure. You know, that foreclosure that they had. So she probably had to go in there and talk to him, like, a little foreclosure back in 2000. The foreclosure crisis, how they got everybody.
Right.
You understand? So
right.
so that's what she probably used. And that's how that works. All right. So it says that this came out right before, because she had planned on running against Danny Davis. I don't know why, because Danny Davis is grandfathered in. No matter how senile he is, how much he walks around with that cane, that wooden tree cane, that man is grandfather in. He does absolutely nothing for the community like majority of the rest of these people that's grandfathered in and grandmothered in. But because he's been there for so long, and you got these seniors who, as long as they get a birthday card, a photo out with them, a town hall like we went to yesterday with, pay attention, then, you're going to get their vote. But if you have anything serious going on in your community, there's nothing that they can do for you. Okay. The city treasurer, she took office in May of 2019, was running a corrupt office with the allegation detailed in a 2020 letter. The ordeal was triggered. The accusation was the firing of 2 of her top aides under the alleged guise of an office shakeup in November 2020. The Democrat Chicago treasurer, who had her sights set on Congress because she lost, has been accused of forcing taxpayer funding staff to plan her daughter's birthday and act as her personal bodyguard. The city treasurer, Melissa Conyears-Ervin, was accused of running a corrupt office and illegally firing 2 employees who raised concerns about her alleged misdeeds. In a letter from December 2020, which was only just unsealed and published, the official is accused of having a disturbing conduct and using pervasive practices for her own benefits. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can find this letter. I like to read a nice letter.
Yeah, and don't they have that security
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna
detail?
get into that too
Oh,
because I got to get into how it started. It
oh,
started
okay.
back when what's that lady name? Lori Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot. Man,
Mm.
Lori Lightfoot was actually, I mean, she was some trash, but she was funny, man. Like you just got the stuff I was looking at. I'm like, she kind of a character. Um, the blistering 4-page letter written by the attorney for the two employees also alleged the treasurer who oversees city investments tried to force BMO Harris, one of the banks where city money is deposited, to issue a mortgage tied to the building that houses the Aldermanic office for Conyears-Ervin's husband, Alderman Jason Ervin. Is this the same? Is this the same building where they had the strip club, the strip party, the bachelor party?
Right, I know. Right, I know this ain't the same. Right.
Conyears-Ervin's threatened retaliation against employees who raised concerns about the conduct and other alleged misdeeds and told employees they should not care if her plans are illegal, since the only way they could lose their job is if she fires them. Ooh.
What? So don't care about what
What?
I'm doing is legal.
She don't care.
Right.
Okay. Because by that time she probably had just put that money down for that deposit to get that sleeve. So, so she
And
probably
look, don't worry about what I'm doing is legal. Don't worry
yeah.
about what I'm doing. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
They
don't
like,
worry about
no,
what I got
they like
going
we
on.
supposed to
You
worry
listen to
about
me. You
that.
listen to me, because I'm the money lady. I'm the money lady.
They like, no, we don't want to go to jail. No, we trying to
No,
make
we don't.
sure
Yeah, we
we,
don't want to go to jail. It doesn't matter, because I'm
yeah,
the right.
yeah, okay,
Yes, and my husband has
yeah.
been a snitch. He's been a snitch, so we protect it over here.
Oh, okay.
After
Makes sense.
Conyers,
It makes sense now. It makes
it
sense.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Okay.
After Conyears-Ervin in 2020 dismissed the employees, Ashley Evans and Tiffany Harper shared $100,000 settlement from the city. $100,000. Ooh, no, Ashley, no, Tiffany. I'm not taking no. Let me tell you something. I wish these people would give me $100,000. No, y'all got to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's jail. $100,000 ain't nothing. Whistleblower claim they get $100,000. Now that settlement came after the letter was sent to the city's top attorney and the city's board of ethics. Now her husband sits on the board for ethics. It don't even matter. The Chicago Tribune saw a copy of the letter, but the Tribune was repeatedly denied access by the administration of Mayor Lori Lightfoot at the time, who became a political ally of Conyears-Ervin and her husband. After the Illinois Attorney General's office last year said in a binding opinion that the Tribune should get a copy of the letter. Now, the Illinois Attorney General, so you know who that is, Kwame Raoul, that we can never provide, he's going to give a binding opinion that the Tribune should get a copy of the letter. What the fuck do you mean? Like, are you going
How
to,
you
like,
go? Right, you can make some. Hello, are you who? What are you good for? Why are you here? Yeah, yeah, yeah. They all gotta go. Yeah.
right. Anyway, Conyears-Ervin declined to address any of the specific allegations in the letter and instead issued a statement that said that the city settled the allegations 2 years ago in the most effective manner for the citizens of Chicago. No, they did not, because you should not even be in there. You should not even have a statement.
Right.
Okay. While I'm not allowed to discuss the specifics of this
Of
settlement, I want
course.
to make a general statement
Of
as I
course.
take these matters seriously. The treasurer said, I've never nor will I ever abuse or misuse taxpayer dollars in the breach the public trust. I trust my responsibility to the citizens and taxpayers with the utmost respect. The controversies date back to November 2020 when Conyears-Ervin dismissed Harper, her chief of staff at the time, as well as Evans and two of the workers. Now, I think I know who her new chief of staff is now. That's my homie. But, girl, she ain't it. She ain't it, baby. As part of what she called an office shakeup, Harper and Evans, Treasurer's former chief impact officer, alleged their firings violated the Illinois Whistleblower Act, federal laws, and a city ordinance. And they split it. They split $100,000 plus. Then they have to give lawyer fees. That ain't enough for me. This letter disputed Conyears-Ervin's claim that she fired the workers because she was taking the treasurer's office in a new direction. The reason given for firing them was a pretext as there was no change in administration. The treasurer took office over a year prior, and neither Miss Evans nor Miss Harper had done anything remotely justifying their termination. The letter said, they are precisely the sort of employees that city seeks to hire and retain, not terminate. In a letter dated back in 2020, December 9th, he called on city officials to initiate the investigation and why the woman were let go. Treasurer Conyears-Ervin engaged in a pattern of disturbing conduct against the public trust, many of which violated the City of Chicago ethic rules as well as state and federal law. The letter stated her consistent and pervasive practice has been to misuse city money, city employees, and city resources to benefit her private interests as well as those of her friends and campaign supporters. One of the companies detailed in the letter was staffers concerned about Conyears-Ervin's decision to hire an ex-Chicago police officer as her private security guard and driver after Lightfoot took away her police detail. After losing a public battle with the mayor on this issue, the treasurer hired an ex-CPD officer to fill the opening of assistant to city treasurer, a job that requires financial training and experience, which the candidate was utterly lacking. This employee does not provide any services to the office and does not even come into the office. Rather, he serves as a private armed security guard to the treasurer and is her driver. Conyears-Ervin says she needed a police detail due to her position. I cannot tell you how many places I go where people say, "Give me a loan. That's the money lady. Can you write me a check?" Conyears-Ervin said.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, this is ridiculous.
People truly associate me with money. I've had people, when I walk in the room, they say, "Money, money, money. Money." This is our treasurer. The letter also took issue with Conyears-Ervin for hiring Gina Zuccaro to be an administrative assistant. A post Zuccaro, if I'm saying it right, Zucchiaro, whatever, was not qualified for. According to the letter, Zuccaro is a political ally of both Conyears-Ervin and her husband, and she has filed objections to block rival candidates from appearing on the ballot against Jason Ervin. Oh, that's Gina. Big Gina's the one who's getting these people off the ballots. Big Gina. She also ran for state representative in 2020, losing to this name is crazy. Jay Williams, who is the son, oh my God, is the son of, you will never guess.
Who?
Walter Burnett.
Oh, wow.
It's like the blind leading the blind, the criminals leading the criminals.
There you go. Yeah.
In the letter, two former employees alleged that rather than fulfilling the duties of their role full-time, the treasurer used Zuccaro, whatever, for personal services like running errands, planning her daughter's birthday party, grocery shopping, and the like. The treasurer also used city resources to support Ms. Zaccaro's run for the Illinois House of Representatives seat by allowing her to campaign on city time. This misuse of hiring to obtain personal services and favor her allies in a pervasive problem, extending well past the two employees to numerous other employees and contractors. Of course, Gina did not return any messages. The two former aides also alleged Conyears-Ervin made demands for city contractors to benefit the treasurer's friends and political supporters. Of course. Of course. One example was the treasurer's attempt to force BMO Harris, one of the city's institutions, the security brokers, to give a mortgage to a third party on a building in which her husband maintains his office. The letter stated, to use the treasurer's words, the instructions was to leverage the city's banking relationship, meaning the fact that the city maintains hundreds of millions of dollars in deposits to get a mortgage on the building.
What? What?
A spokesman from BMO Harris declined to comment last week. Of course. Why would they comment on that? She also used city resources to advance the agenda on several, of course, churches and other religious organizations, many of which her and her husband support politically, and turn out church members to vote their respective campaign.
Then we say that? Can we say that?
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Those events include panel and praise.
Yeah.
What panel and praise? Where she handpicked pastors to highlight a back-to-school citywide prayer. When are y'all going to do a back-to-school citywide reading? Who can read 100 books and pay y'all to learn how to read? Like, when are y'all? What is a back-to-school citywide prayer? What? Staffers told Conyears-Ervin she could not spend city money to promote religion. But not only did she refuse to stop the event, but also insisted that she could handpick the prayer leaders, including her political supporters, rather than open the opportunity to all faiths, justifying it by saying that she wanted religious leaders who preach consistently with the Christian Bible. When Evans and Harper warned Conyears-Ervin not to engage in the activities detailed in the letter, the treasurer ignored the two women, and worse. Before they were fired, the letter stated Conyears-Ervin threatened the women with retaliation and warned them that if they refused to implement her plans, their asses can walk, and that they will be walking the fuck up out of here. And if this is her fucking office and her vision. The retaliation is clear, as is the corruption in the treasurer's office. Following the firings, the Tribune asked to get some Freedom of Information Act, but of course, that was under Lightfoot. She refused to get it, and you barely can get anything now.
Right.
Them, so that's and it's a lawsuit. Anytime you guys want to FOIA anything and you cannot get it, they refuse to give it to you, and it's freedom because it's public knowledge and it's our, we're taxpayers, we're allowed to see what's going on. That's a lawsuit. Like, y'all all literally can file a lawsuit. If you're trying to get any information from the city, from Cook County, and you're not receiving it, and you got all the paperwork and say that, you can go file a lawsuit and you're going to win. Every time. They're supposed to do it, and they're supposed to have records of it. But these people really thought that really counted us out as the kids who now that they're no longer teaching. They think that everybody got that we all don't know our rights, our laws, our common sense. No, that's why we have to get in this political ring to save the children that are doomed if we do not get in this political ring and save them, because y'all think too that we don't know how to read, we don't have common sense, we don't know how to comprehend, we don't know what FOIA is, we don't know what the Constitution is, we don't know what an oath is, we don't know what unlawful means, we don't know what corruption is, we don't know what RICO is. So y'all just continue to do stuff like this. This lady should be in jail. She shouldn't even have her. The fact that she is still the treasurer is insane. Like like that's like that. Like, I mean, come on now. Like, who are you? Like, literally, who are you? You are, she oversees supposedly $14 billion. So I don't understand how she oversees $14 billion when we are over $1 billion in deficit, but she oversees $14 billion.
See, we should be demanding. See, but it's us. We allow this. We should be demanding both of them to see both of the records. We should be demanding all that right now.
Yep,
You
you're
know,
absolutely right.
yeah. It should be like no. We need
Now,
paperwork. Yep, a breakdown, itemized paperwork. Yep, how our tax dollars was allocated.
and when I'm looking now, the inspector general, they seized her computers back in September of 2023, and they seized them because of this whole investigation. And
Mm-hmm.
she's still so confident, like, oh, they're not gonna touch me, because why would they touch me when I know my husband is a full snitch? Why would they do that?
Cause why? Yeah, cause why are they
Now
so?
she's fined 10. Now she was signed. Now listen to this. Now Chicago Board of Ethics fined. Now Chicago Board of Ethics. Now I went over to this thing. This guy name is Berlin, Steve Berlin, and I went to the Board of Ethics meeting. It's over there by Sedgwick. It's in Walter Burnett's ward. And we went in there, and they are Berlin. I think Steve Berlin. He's just as useless as the rest of these people. He shouldn't even be head of ethics. But anyway, they said the Chicago Board of Ethics fined City Treasurer Melissa Conyears-Ervin $10,000 for violating government ethics ordinance by firing whistleblowers and improperly using city resources. They say that she was disappointed with the board's actions. They gave her $5,000 for each individual violation. And we paid, Chicago taxpayers paid $100,000 to resolve that lawsuit between those two employees. And it was approved by, at that time, Lori Lightfoot. So yeah. Now, had the settlement been even $1 more, it would have required city council approval under city rules. So that's why she was able to approve that. Then the board ethics fined her a total of $70,000 in the past month because she committed 12 violations. 12 violations And she still she still was able to run against Danny Davis. She lost. Still gets to keep her job, and we're paying for a police detail that Lori Lightfoot was like, nah, to. Like, it doesn't matter because, like, she used money for everything, for prayer services. She don't, yeah, like for anything she want to do, because her man is a snitch. Like you can't tell me that man got everything set up for when they come. Okay, he been doing stuff for a very long time. Like,
you think he already get everything? So what he do? Because they telling everything.
Yeah, I mean, from 2019, the federal authorities are investigating. Well, they were. Well, they probably still are. We don't know. But we're investigating how he ended up with a check for nearly $5,000 from a woman charged with improperly spending state grant money meant for jobs programs for youth. They always got these jobs and stuff that's supposed to be for everybody else, for the youth, and it just don't. The money don't never get to the youth. It never gets to the youth.
Yeah.
Never. But you know what does get to the youth? Them guns.
Yep.
Them guns make it to our youth now. But when the money that's supposed to help them, better their lives and
programs,
careers, you're not gonna get that.
Yeah.
A criminal complaint laying out the charges against the nonprofit, of course, always a corrupt nonprofit, identified recipient of the check only as individual A. But the Tribune be knowing it, has learned that the money went to Jason Ervin. Days after the nonprofit chief was arrested late last month, so that was late last month of April of 2019, the FBI agent approached Ervin to discuss the grant, but he declined to do so without legal representation. Okay, smart, because he already know. Because he did do that drug house. He probably had his people on. He probably had his lawyer on speed dial.
And that was 2019.
That was 2019.
Okay.
It says Alderman Irvin was made aware of allegations regarding improper use of state grant money and will cooperate fully with authorities to ensure that taxpayer resources were not properly diverted for anything else in specific purpose. And you know what he did when he got in there? He said, look, I got what you need. I got what you need. I am going to cooperate fully with you, aka I'm about to tell you everything you need to know.
I'm about to snitch. Yeah,
I'm about to snitch.
Tell you.
Cause hell no, man. I just got my baby. I got a new wife. She got a new body. But she had the old body at this time, but she was getting that new body. He already knew.
Right.
Yeah. Sam Adam Jr. Oh, he confirmed as his criminal defense attorney said that he would fully cooperate. I bet he did, and he's been cooperating ever since. My understanding that there is no indication of wrongdoing on Mr. Ervin's part. Irvin at one time, Maywood at the time was village manager. He was appointed, January 11th to the Dailies, because of Daily or whatever. And then at that time, he was the budget committee. The nonprofit chief was friend Sean Miles, president and executive director of Divine Praise Incorporated. It's always a praise. It's always a divine. Was charged April 26 of 2019 with improperly spending nearly $14,000 of the state grant on herself and others. Among the misspent funds, the charges alleged was a $4,932 check Miles made out to an individual A 7 months after Irvin took his council seat. Miles is charged with 2 counts of wire fraud in connection with the $60,000 state grant she received in 2011 to fund the summer youth jobs program. So you stole. So the kids never got the stuff. In 2019, they came after you for $60,000. You stole more than that. They just got you for $60,000. She dissolved. So she dissolved the company in 2013. And she went ahead and worked with a new foundation on the South Side to serve children and youth to go and steal more grant money that never gets to them.
Right. Right.
The job programs have been designed to employ 20 youth between the ages of 16 and 19. Speaking of youth, the 29,000 jobs that your mayor has, these people coming out saying some of the students that are applying, some of the youth that are applying is like, nah, you a lie. I done applied 3 times. I done applied 3 times and I can't get these 29,000 youth jobs that you're talking about.
I believe them. I believe them for real.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
Yeah, it ain't no. Yeah, it ain't that. It ain't that.
Yes.
Also, when in 2020, when it was getting real crazy here, Trump wanted to send the National Guard here, which, could have happened. But you have Alderman, what's his man's name? Jason Ervin, that says that the city should do more to address the root causes of crime through after-school programming and anti-violence programs. You don't care about bringing any money to your ward. You just took $5,000 from the kids, individual A, for the kids' youth programs. So what are y'all talking about these after-school programs? Y'all don't care about if these kids go to school. So I know y'all don't care about what happens after school.
Right.
Yeah, y'all don't care at all. Like, y'all just these are just what y'all use to get money. And then y'all get the money, funnel it through certain organizations. A lot of white people, how they do it is we'll have the nonprofit, have a lawyer and they write up these crazy amounts like $200,000, $300,000, and they will give them. And they'll have the nonprofit will pay out this $300,000, $200,000, and then the lawyer will give them back, half of it or something like that. You understand? But they'll say, well, no, we billed them all these hours of not doing anything. So that's how they do. They just funnel all this stuff.
Money right back. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, back in 2024, when they needed that additional $70 million, Alderman Jason Ervin says that, yes, this is a challenge. Do we want to spend this money like this right now? Of course not. But again, we have an obligation and we have a responsibility to move this ball forward. Jason Ervin, you have one of the worst, I think, between you and Monique Scott. You both have some of the worst spots, areas in your ward. You should have been just like Monique Scott and shouldn't even be thinking about migrant money, anything when it comes to migrants. Until like you have like you are dealing with floods, you're dealing with shootings, you're dealing with a lot of stuff. Like, how do you voted yes for everything that had to do with the migrant crisis?
Right. You should nobody have got no money.
Yeah.
You should have said no. Until my people get some money, nobody get no money at all. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it stood up like, well, we got, he always stands up with them terrible suits. And
yeah.
His suits be big and terrible. One time he wore it was supposed to be like a blazer but it really was like, I don't know what that thing was. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Also, he took political donations from a firm that wanted citywide ordinance to boot cars on private lots. Okay. So he took, I don't know how much he took. Oh no, here it is. He took $1,000 May 3rd, 2022. I mean, they really be hoeing for so little.
Mm-hmm. I see.
$1,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Like, y'all just, it's to the point now. So I really feel bad for y'all. So, going back to Melissa. Now, this is hilarious it's not hilarious to me, but let me make sure I got this part. Okay. So, I went to a Melissa Conyears-Ervin so she's starting to do these events. I think she's been doing them for a minute, but I happened to see one that she had with Keke Palmer and Keke Palmer, Matthew Knowles, Lorenz Tate, and it was about empowerment and let me get the right wording because it was let me just make sure I got this right because I went and I was very annoyed, and I was annoyed because every time I go to an event or anything like that, I always want to look at what it was called. Let's make sure I got it right. Building Wealth Today for Tomorrow. And it was at it was UIC, and it was in like the smallest part of UIC. Like, it should have been in the pavilion. It should have been somewhere because you knew, first of all, it was free for everybody, right? Cool, great. And you had people like Lorenz Tate, Matthew Knowles was Beyonce's father, who was one of the first people to work at Xerox. That's why he was there. Keke Palmer, Lorenz Tate, and she had I think she had some other people too, but I know for sure those people. And when I came in there, it was in the UIC forum, And she had people like, of course, the city of Chicago that's sponsoring it. She's got BMO, she's got US Bank, she got CIBC, she got Wells Fargo, Chase, Ariel Investments, TransUnion, Verizon, ABOC, Self Help. And you would think that it would have been in, like, again, where they have the graduations at UIC, where everybody could stand, where everybody could sit. There was legit maybe like 500 chairs. And a 500 chairs might not even, I'm probably being generous. I think I saw about 150, maybe 200 chairs. And then you have everything else bunched up in this, in where they had this, where they had the whole thing at. So they've got the stage here, and they've got two big screens, and then back here you've got all of every city person there. You got the land bank people there. You've got all these corrupt banks. Like, I don't even know why they let Wells Fargo even come nowhere near. Come anywhere near black people. As much money as they've taken from us. But it is what it is. But you got Wells Fargo's there. You got all these people here. But you have not enough seats to actually watch these prominent people that you brought. Those are some prominent people. Regardless, Beyonce's daddy was a very smart man, and he was one of the first black people to work for Xerox for affirmative action, through affirmative action. Then you have Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer also is a very successful actress, singer, socialite, radio personality. I like her a lot. Then you have Lorenz Tate. Who doesn't like Lorenz Tate? Who doesn't love Lorenz Tate? And you have not enough room for all these people. So my thing is, if you had all those sponsors, and the way that you act, because you swear you were a movie star and a celebrity and stuff, because you the money lady, you would think that you would have enough money to have enough chairs and enough place where everybody can see all these people, especially if you're doing it for the free. And so that's when I did a video and everything, and that's when I realized that these people don't. It's about the look. You understand? As long as it looks, as long as I get the photo op, stuff like that. Say, see, we care about the community. Let's get a few people that's delusional and don't see the. I don't want to say delusional. They don't see that we're getting got. Because again, we have made it that they think these politicians are stars, and they're not. Like, even when people stop me and ask if they take a picture with me, like, it's cool, but sometimes I feel like that's kind of weird, because it's like all I'm doing is trying to really figure out where the money is. And honestly, we all need to figure out where the money is. However, because you're on TV, or you do an interview, or you're somewhere that people look up to you and they want to take the picture, and that's great. But if you're taking pictures with these people when you know that you're in the position to help our community, to help us, you're hurting us. Like the fact that Melissa Conyears-Ervin held that Bally's Casino event at a church. I just want to get this real quick. Bally's Casino. And just like what we were looking at. Reading earlier about how she was using money to do prayers and worship, or panel and worship and stuff like that. When you mix in politics and religion, especially when it comes to us, it's disrespectful. Back in January, they had gathered at Third Baptist Church on 95th and Ashland to learn details about how Black residents can invest in Bally's Chicago first casino. Like, and she's the one who held it. Her and then the Chicago Do Nothing Black Caucus. You know, and they were saying stuff like this will be the city's largest Black ward to inform residents about an opportunity for minorities and women to create generational wealth. How? How do you even say stuff like that when we're losing our prop? First of all, y'all done gave the West Side away to the Hispanics. So now you're gonna give us now the little bit of money that you still have now, you can put it in this Bally's casino that nobody don't go to.
We're gonna take that.
We're gonna take that now.
We gotta take the rest of that little bit. that little bit left. Then you got that. How much you got left? We need that. Bring that on over there. Yeah.
Yes. How much can you give to the casino? How much can you get to the failing casino here? Even though the Asians use Bally's Casino to launder their money all day through Baccarat and wherever else. But you want to come to the Negroes. You want to come to the Negroes in the largest, blackest ward in Chicago, the 21st Ward. And give them the Bally's Casino opportunity. And I guarantee you, if we look at the 21st Ward, I guarantee you we can count how many vacant lots are over there, how much trash is on the ground, how many liquor stores are over there, how many beauty supply stores are over there, how many Black-owned restaurants. You probably can count on one hand how many Black-owned restaurants are over there, how many Black-owned businesses we probably can count on one hand, how much affordable housing construction that Black construction workers have put up with all this infrastructure, housing bonds and boosting stuff and anything else they want to call it. I want to know how much economic resources that we're putting in the 21st Ward that are specifically for Black people, or how much Invest Southwest money went over to the 21st Ward before you guys said, you know what? We got to figure this out. We ain't got no money. We done stole half the money, majority of the money. We ain't got Black people. We ain't got nothing. The Hispanics is running these shelters, these criminal enterprises through the shelters. Black people ain't going to church no more. They're figuring out that we is some shit. So what can we do to bring some more money in? Because again, the South Side, and because Chicago is the most segregated city, so the Hispanics got their money, the Asians got their money, White people got their money, Ukrainian village got their money, Mexicans got their money, everybody got their money. But then the Black people, here we are trying to figure it out, because people are starting to look twice now, because when they go outside to the left, to the right, for every one Black person you see is 5 Venezuelans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So they know it's only a matter of time. So now they got to pull out the racist cards, when it's no racism when it comes to this right here. This is straight stealing. Okay, y'all done stole so much money, and y'all stole it real fast, because y'all thought that, like I say, I will always say, you thought my man was going to give y'all some more money, racist Joe Biden, and he said, I'm going to give you a one-time payment of $52 million.
Right.
And you guys figure it out. And that's what and now they're trying to figure it out. And and they don't know what to do. And I'm ready for them to go to jail.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Lori Lightfoot text Brand. I mean, somebody looked for all of Lori Lightfoot text messages to the city council. That's for another day. That shit is so funny. But say that Jason Ervin was full of crap, and he is. He
Yeah,
is.
of course.
Yeah, he's definitely full of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all I do know is that these people are broke. The city of Chicago is broke. These older people don't have they. You can go into these town halls. They're going to tell you something totally different. We went to Michelle Harris town hall yesterday, and I went back to like just play back some of the stuff that I recorded, and she lied about basically everything. Uh, I think the funny thing to me is how they come back to the hood, or they come back to their community, and when they get these questions from the community, they act like they don't know.
Uh-huh.
They don't know any of this is happening. Like you can't sit here and tell me that you don't know, Michelle Harris, that they are building houses with no permits in your ward and selling them. And when you're talking about, well, what you gotta do is you gotta go to the buildings department, or you gotta go down, you gotta ask, or you can come and talk to me. But you know this though. However, when it comes to the Regal, before we even got started, I heard you say that the Regal a fence will be put on the Regal, around the Regal, and that construction will be starting on on the Regal by the end of summer. Now that's what she said before it even started. So she started with that, and then she hurried up and started her meeting. So that's that. However, we're having a rally on the 27th, April 27th, from 1 to 3 p.m. Please come out. We're going to have music. DJ Doug will be there. We will have art. Skills will be there and also Mr. Blakemore, George Blakemore. Like I said, if y'all ain't got no paintings from Mr. Blakemore, please come out on Sunday and get as many paintings, and please collect his information, because you should be having a lot of his art in your house. Also, we will have a few speakers there, and we will have information when it comes to what Chicago Flips Red is about, our organization. We have pre-orders if you try to get any shirts. And we'll have popcorn. We'll have good conversation, and you will hear from the owner of Regal as well. He also will give, the whole situation, the lawsuit, what's going on, and you can read up on the lawsuit on Avalon Regal websites. Clearly, everybody's suing the city. He's suing Michelle Harris. I'm suing Michelle Harris as well, because she is the chairman of ethics, rules, and she's the chairman of rules and committee, and how I was banned. That was unlawful and was wrong, and she was the person who makes the last call, and you should know better. But the way that you lie to your seniors at your town hall is just in you. It's just in these people. It's in them. It's in their DNA. They cannot help themselves. They're going to continue to lie because they are actors. These are actors and actresses that are acting like they care for the community. These are not politicians. They did not get into this to serve the community, serve the youth, serve the seniors, serve the families, serve the law enforcement, serve women, serve the businesses. They do not care. They will never care. And and it's up for us to get them out. Jason Ervin needs to be out. This should be his last term, and the fact that he's able to get 7 people kicked off one ballot, and nobody didn't. Any of them 7 people did not. I don't know. They probably did try to make a. You can't get no news. Can't get anybody to take the story. So
Yeah, he probably did try to get some coverage.
yeah,
Right.
but that's
Right.
crazy. You know, he he's a criminal politician, and he's a failed accountant. A lot of them are failed accountants, and they're the only person there that seems to know how to count is Brandon Riley, because he's also an accountant. But David Moore is an accountant, and as you see, no. His wife should have been fired a long time ago. I don't understand the recommendations from, or even when the Inspector General does point out all of the stuff that they do wrong, all of the corruption that they do wrong. We see it, and nothing never happens. I don't understand how that works. And I do know her new chief of staff, and like I said, that's my boo. I love you, but honestly, like I told Kennedy Bartley, because Kennedy went to school with my younger sister. They both went to DePaul. I told her the same thing, that there's no way in the world that I would be tied in with somebody like Brandon Johnson, and telling my other boo, there's no way in the world that I would be tied in with Melissa Conyears-Ervin, because they are. You're going to get blacklisted. Like, you can't put on your resume, like, because they're young too, both of them. What I'm saying is, like, you can't put on your resume like, yeah, I used to work for failed Brandon Johnson. I used to work for failed Melissa Conyears-Ervin, and think somebody else is going to hire you. That's just not going to work. So yeah. So we're going to do a lot of work, because they're going to have to get up out of there. But Jason Ervin by far is one of the worst, incompetent, terrible, useless people down there. I mean, useless. You won't be able to get nothing from him. Nothing. It doesn't matter. You understand him, and the fact that we're paying for security for his wife is crazy too. And yeah, like we would. I don't know if you remember when we went to the when we protested his Brandon Johnson birthday birthday party. They did the caddy corner because they was late. His wife, Jason Ervin and his wife, but security stopped all the traffic on Green
Yeah.
Street right there,
Yeah.
and they ran out.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
big back and one used to be big back, but the back's still a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's how that is. So any questions? Got anything? Any last words you want to say?
Oh no. Nothing.
All right. Well, next Friday we have to skip because we will be heading to Detroit for our panel with Anton Daniels and Chicago Fizz Red. But before that, but we will next Friday, the 9th, will be Famous Friday. And we will let y'all know who Famous Friday is, who's the alderman for next Famous Friday. And also, you and I need to do we need to talk about these shelters. People keep reaching out. I did another interview today about these shelters. But we need to do a Famous Friday about these shelters.
Okay.
So, all right.
Okay.
Any questions? And any of y'all people have? I think this couple is one of the worst famous Fridays you have done. Oh yeah, this Friday. I mean, this couple is absolutely terrible. It's actually a couple of Bonnie and Clyde um, couples. I actually saw a Bonnie and Clyde couple last weekend, but this couple right here,
Yep.
that's
Terrible.
they are they criminal. It's
Yeah.
they criminal, and I know one of them is watching this. Probably both of them, and he's probably eating goobers. Brandon John, Jason Ervin, you got a spirit
Disgusting.
on you. You got a weird spirit on you, and the fact that you've been in government since 2011, and you have, and your ward still looks the way that it looks, is ridiculous. And the fact that you vote the way that you vote down there
Yep.
is criminal, especially when it comes to our community, especially come to the west side. You do not care about nothing. And your fat ass should at least care about grocery stores over there so you can get some better food over there. But why should you when you don't care about your suits? You are a west side dammer. Okay, you make the West Side look terrible. When I think of the West Side, I think of your stupid ass, and your wife should be ashamed of herself too. Like y'all, yeah. So 2 more years, like I think, yeah, 2027 is when we can get your ass up out of there. But please, if he does not go to jail before that, because my goal is to get all these people in jail. But if he does not make it to jail before then, please reach out to myself or to Chicago Flips Red if you would like to run against terrible suits 28th Ward Alderman Jason Ervin. And the same with this treasurer, because she got to go too. She's absolutely useless and terrible, and she's going to continue to steal because clearly, like I say, Jason Ervin is the black version of the Danny Solis. Danny Solis is the one who snitched on Burke, Madigan, all that. I wouldn't be surprised if he's wearing a wire with them suits. It probably included. The wire's probably included in the suit. So that's it. Thank you for the donation. And let's see, you all right over there?
Yeah, no, looking at my cat. Yeah.
The Irvin crime family. Yeah, that's 28th Ward, baby. But yeah, Irvin with the Ervin. But yes, they are criminals since Maywood. Okay, so that's that. All right, thank you so much, Deborah. Thank you, Nicole, for being in here, and whoever this lady is, Elizabeth Bean, I appreciate you. You always be putting that Zoe for mayor everywhere. You always say, so I appreciate you, Miss Elizabeth, and I hope to meet you one day because I like that. So thank you. All right, shout out to Shar. Shout out to everybody that watched. We made up to 160 people, so that's good for me. The right ones watched it. This weekend, they will continue to watch it. And also, I want to let you know, too, just because we did one Famous Friday on these people, this is just like getting it out there. When these people start announcing that they're running again, and stuff like that. Like I said, it'll be part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, because these people need to understand how detrimental these people are to us and to our community, and we don't have any representation that really want to get these people out of our communities because they have already sold us out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they say his wife in there robbing, stealing, wheeling, and dealing. Absolutely. And she got a new body. She got a new body doing it too.
Mm-hmm.
She probably cheating too. That's for now. Got nothing to do with me though. But yeah, let's see if he never takes a seat at the kitty counter because he knows he doesn't deserve to sit there. He probably don't even know he probably can sit down. All he does is eat some around about after 3 hours, so he doesn't have a panic attack in front of all of us. They tell him to eat some food and give him some milk.
uh,
So,
uh,
all right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I want y'all to know the West Side. I care about y'all just as much as I care about the South Side. But the
yes,
West
yes.
Side, y'all gonna have to figure out something. Y'all gonna have to. Ain't no way in the world the West Side is now little Venezuela. Because that's what they try to
Yeah,
do
we
over
gotta
here on the
come.
South Side, but that ain't gonna happen over here.
We gotta come together, West Side. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
we do. Yes, we do.
yeah. So, all right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. That's a wrap. I will see y'all on Sunday for the rally, and then Sunday evening I'm doing my show about Brandon Johnson and his task force that he's trying to put together. That's not going to work. Now the only person probably going to be on this task force. I really don't want Pat Dow to be on there. Pat Dow, please don't be on there. But when it comes to William Hall and William Hall and his pastor friends and boyfriends and Jason Ervin for sure will be on there. They ride until the wheels fall off. Michelle Harris too, because she ain't got nothing else to lose. Because she kept saying yesterday, yeah, because y'all not gonna get me in no orange jumpsuit. I ain't going to jail, ma'am.
Damn, you go to jail.
But I don't care about I don't care how many seniors you bring up in that town hall. I
Right.
don't care how many pace buses that you get to drop them off and take them back home. Ma'am, you are doing a disservice to them, and they're doing a disservice to the younger folks in there, because even earlier today I was listening to this lady talking about that wedding venue, right? That was supposed to be in her ward. And one of the things she was saying was that the reason why they don't want the reason why she's saying that they don't want the wedding venue is there in there because it could be some type of party going on, and a decade ago or 10 years ago or something like that, a party happened in that ward, a shooting or something like that in a venue, and they don't want that type of stuff over there. Ma'am, you've got 48 liquor stores over here. You got a
Right.
liquor store right across the street from the Regal. You won't help get the Regal back open.
But you want to write. But you want to talk
But
about you.
yeah, but you got a liquor store across from the Regal that's not black owned. You got
Mm-hmm.
the one y'all open back Kenwood's back up, but you got a deal in that. You got some money in that, and your dude that be with you all the time. He was there yesterday. That was dude who was helping with her cards. Who kept saying you wanna write something down? Like, yeah, nigga, you know what I'm here for. You
Oh
know
yeah,
exactly who I am. You look like a reject Tyler Perry too. You give Tyler Perry vibes, like Medea vibes.
yeah,
Yeah. So yeah. 1 to 3, 1645 East 79th Street, Regal Rally. I hope to see y'all. Thank y'all
yeah.
for watching.
See y'all.
See y'all.